All right, what is up, BachPod squad? The Ryan and Jacob Show is back for another episode of the BachPod in Paradise, where we are not brought to you by Core Water, and probably never will be. All right, let's dive into this week's two episodes. We got a lot of juice to unpack here, a lot of shit going on. We come into the first episode of the week. We're post Boom Boom Room with Riley and Marissa. What are your thoughts coming into this episode?
I gotta feel sorry for Connor. We're gonna see what Connor does and how he copes with it. And that was probably the biggest thing I was looking forward to, I guess, just to see if he got any other connections and how he was told. And it was crazy how he was told, though.
Yeah, like everybody in the house is talking about it. The whispers were going around. Everybody's playing the did you hear, or like doing that shit all day. And then the last person to find out, it seems like, is Connor. And he had a conversation with Marissa. She didn't say it at all. And then he finds out after that. I mean, just honestly, just brutal. Just a brutal jab. And he was like we was talking to her. He was like trying to plan that date for her. Like, he was like, hey, what are you doing later? Are you busy? And she was like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel like you could really read the room there that something was not right there anymore.
Yeah, and she probably should have said something. Like, Connor was doing all this stuff for her, and if I was her, I'd be like, okay, I think I'm feeling this guy a little bit more. But yeah, it was just weird. I mean, I wouldn't, like, if I was Connor, I would have been thinking like, oh man, I dodged a bullet on that one. Unfortunately, he didn't make any other connections, which I don't think he really even tried to, if I remember correctly. But I mean, the biggest thing I think that happened in this episode was Demi and Mari little fight with Kenny.
Yeah.
That was some drama right there.
Yes, that was absolutely incredible, which all started with Mari basically telling Kenny that she wants to keep her options open just in case she wants to go on a date. And so he's like, all right, well, then I'll keep mine open too. And then he goes and starts playing tonsil hockey with Demi, and Mari gets pissed. Like, my brain exploded.
Dude, I feel like Kenny is the chillest guy. I would love to hang out with that dude. He's just kind of goes with the flow. He's just a cool guy, it seems like. And he took Mari's stuff to heart. Yeah, you can do what you want, but I'm going to do what I want. And then Demi threw him a birthday party or whatever it was, 40th birthday. The funniest part was when Mari threw the cake in the fire. That was funny. You had one guy's like, oh man, I really wanted some of that cake.
Man. Dude, that was absolutely insane. I cannot wrap my head around why she would have been so mad. And then when she finally takes Kenny and has a conversation with him, she's like, wait, no, that's not what I meant when I said that. I was like, I want to keep doing this now, but just in case somebody ever asks me on a date, I just want to let you know I'm going to say yes. And he's like, yeah, I know. That's why I'm seeing other people. Dude, it was the most confusing conversation I've ever heard. What in the world was she thinking? I don't understand.
Yeah, Mari didn't have a point, but I think Demi played it pretty well. Because Mari was talking to Demi about her relationship with him, and then Mari kind of was like, "Hey, you go do your thing, whoever you like, go ask him, go kiss him or whatever." And then she just went straight to Kenny, and then that's when Mari was like, "This bitch," come on, that was so funny,
dude. That was an absolutely devious move by Demi though, but it pays off. And she basically steals Kenny away, and we have Boom Boom Room visit number 2 of the season. Kenny and Demi, let's go. I didn't see that coming at all at the beginning of this episode, but wow, that was great.
Yeah, they were feeling each other. Dude, and like, not to get into episode 2, but like Kenny's got like everyone is vying for this dude. Like he has got the looks, the smooth talking.
The
But
penis.
yeah, yeah. And well, yeah, he's just the hot commodity right now. I think episode 2 is like when Tia comes on and asks Kenny on a date, and Demi was like, well, that's what happens when you have the hottest guy on the beach. And just like, man, he kind of seems like that because everyone's wanting this guy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely is the talk of the town. But back to episode 1, getting us off track here. We have to talk about the 2 new arrivals that came in this first episode. The two smoke bros, which is what their occupation was listed as. Chris and Chasen. Now, if you guys are picturing a guy in your head that would be named Chasen, you are probably exactly on of what this guy looks like, because he looks like his name would be Chasen. Seems like just the worst. Like, I mean, that's all. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I don't even know who these 2 guys are. I think they were from Claire's season, which of course we both didn't watch. What was the other guy's name? Chasen, and what was his name?
Chris, normal guy name. Seems like seems like a pretty okay dude.
Yeah, and Chris, you know, he said in his mind, I think, yeah, he said he just wanted to see Jasenia.
Right.
And that kind of was like, dude, you know what's the funniest part about this show? Not really funny, but it's just like every time like something is about to happen, they always have like an interview with the guy or girl that's basically about to get screwed. So like Ivan was talking about, oh, me and Jasenia are so strong. If somebody else asked her on a date, that's not going to happen. And Chris comes in and asks Jasenia on a date, and she says yes. And then Ivan's sitting there like, what the hell just happened? Like, that happens every single time.
Dude, and that was like the first domino, I feel like, of when like almost so many relationships started to just crash and burn. Like that was kind of the start of it. When these 2 new dudes come in. Chris takes Yesenia and just crushes that Yesenia Ivan thing that we thought was really strong, which that's done. And then Chasen comes in and takes Deandra away from Carl, which just opened up another box of goodies. Like, oh my goodness. We have got to talk about the great jewelry wars of The Bachelor in Paradise.
I was just about to say, like, I'm glad Deandra like saw through that bullshit, because like anyone could give you like Carl's like with a bracelet, and then Chasen with a necklace. And I think Demi was pretty right when she said that both of them weren't like, they didn't look that great.
Dude, no, everyone was talking about how like bad they looked. And so just to fill everybody in, first Carl throws his last ditch line out there in the water and gives her a bracelet that was apparently special, but he just said he brought it back from Miami. So like it was like a vacation. He's bought it on vacation maybe. And then like maybe an hour later, Chasen comes up with this fat necklace that looks like it weighs 2 pounds.
It's like a dog chain.
And then gives that to her. Oh my God. And then the best part of this whole episode was when Carl approaches him about it and they're fighting. And he's like, you're just a one-upper, man. I should just call you like Captain One-Upper or something. Like
And then Jason calls him something stupid. Dude, it was like the stupidest argument I think I've ever heard in my life. And these 2 meatheads are just going after each other. And dude, and Ivan played that perfectly, because he was with Deandra the whole time, just kind of like, not like trying to get with her, but like trying to like, I don't know, just be like friends. And then, I mean, you know what happens with that. But yeah, dude, that was so stupid. Like, I think I lost a couple brain cells just watching that part.
That was the most incredible argument I've probably ever seen. When he just said, I think just call you Captain One-Upper, or like whatever he said along those lines, which I was fucking crying. Like, like seeing grown men argue like that. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, on Katie's season, we both really didn't like Carl. Carl was like this, he was just not a good guy. And I mean, well, another relationship that kind of fell apart. I don't know if this was the first one or second one, but Trey and Tajwan, was that the first episode?
Yes, that was the first episode.
So both of them just basically said, Trey basically says, "Oh, this isn't working. I think I'm just gonna leave." So he leaves, and then we find out during the rose ceremony that Tajwan leaves as well. So I think there was a cliffhanger in the first episode to the second episode.
Yes, that's the last thing we need to talk about from episode 1. It was,
okay, cool.
You know it?
I forgot.
It was Tammy.
Oh, yeah.
Tammy and Aaron have like this great bond. And like you just brought up earlier, like of course they do an interview with Aaron where he's talking about how good he feels about where they're at. And he's talking to those guys in the circle about how good he feels. All of a sudden, Tammy takes Thomas right over to the bed. We're right in front of him. And then they just start going at it. Like she's mounting on top of him. He's probably got a chub. Like, I mean, it's the real deal.
Dude, that had to be said. Like Aaron spent so much time talking to Tammy how much he hated that guy. And for Tammy to do that, she's either really just a bitch or that had to be planned because that stirred up a lot of drama. Aaron was pissed. Thomas was just like, well, dude, too bad. Like, she likes me. Like nonchalantly when they were talking. Aaron's like freaking red in the face, pissed off, and Thomas like, whatever. I'm glad it happened. Like, damn, dude.
He was like, you had to go to the bed right in front of me, and he was like, I mean, I didn't know that was gonna happen. Okay. Like,
yeah, dude, and I don't know. I think this is the second episode, but like when Aaron and Tammy talk and like she realizes what she did, she has like the fakest. I don't know. It did not seem like she was. I feel like that was like like she was trying to fake cry because she just didn't look right when she was crying.
Dude, I remember her she sucked on Peter's season. Like she was not like a cool person. So This makes total sense. But like Thomas is also the worst. Like I am so interested to see how that's going to turn out. Like I don't know. Like just two awful people and they showed it there. And that's episode 1.
Yeah, it'll be interesting what happens with that one. But yeah, we go to episode 2 in the rose ceremony. So the girls have their roses and 3 guys leave.
Yeah, who it was?
Connor, Chasen, and Carl.
Boom, got him.
And Deandra saw through both those guys' shit, Carl's and Chasen's, and gave the friendship, I think she called it, rose to Ivan because she thought Ivan deserved to be on the beach. I don't know how that works, but I hope Deandra like finds someone. I think she's cool. I love how she like saw through that bullshit, but I don't know if she's gonna have a connection with anyone like going forward. I don't see it, but hopefully I'm wrong because I do like her.
Dude, she is really cool. And she's honestly like probably top 3, maybe top 5, top 3 or 5 of probably best looking girls on the beach. I can't believe she's still one of the last ones that hasn't found anything yet. But
dude, I thought Trey could have swooped her up, but he just like left.
Dude, Trey was like, I didn't have feelings for this girl, so I think I'm out.
Like, damn, dude. But like, you put all your eggs in one basket is pretty tough, but
I mean, it's like even Connor stuck around and stood in the pocket and like took his
hit, but he stood in the pocket.
I mean, like he still went home, but he's stuck out there. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, true that.
But yeah, so then we get our next new arrival. It's a girl this time, and you already brought her up. It's Tia, who I've never seen on anything, but apparently she was dating Colton on one of the last Bachelor in Paradises, which is wild, and because he's gay now. And Demi made just an absolutely great joke she said something like the only thing worse than her gaydar is her jean shorts.
Yeah, I remember that. I was cracking up because I think I read a little bit about Tia and Colton, because I don't know, I was reading something about Colton because he was in that mess, like stalking whoever like his girlfriend was, and then he turned out to be gay. So I think I was reading that about Tia.
What a roller coaster.
And yeah, it was. I don't know Tia though. Like she seems cool though. Like I like her accent. She's pretty hot too.
Yeah, she is pretty cool. And yeah, so she ends up stealing Demi's man. But Demi's joke, A1. So she takes Kenny on the date, and they show up to play some volleyball, and then everyone starts getting naked.
Yeah. And it's, what was really funny about that was that Kenny was like, he didn't seem like he wanted to get naked, but you knew he wanted to get naked.
Yeah,
like,
dude, he literally showed up in the first episode naked.
He was asking Tia like, "Oh, I'm going to do whatever you want to do," but in the back of his mind, he's like, "I want to get naked."
Like in no world is my dick not coming out today. All right, I am playing volleyball with my dick out today.
I just thought that was funny how he was like just stagnant about it. But I think the date went well. Like they talked. Another funny part was when he told her that he went to the boom boom room with Demi.
Yep.
And Tia was like, "Oh shit, I'm about to die because bitches be crazy."
Hell yeah. Yep. And she's like, I mean, once you do that with somebody, like, there's definitely a little bit more feelings involved, and she's not wrong. Yep. I mean, that's definitely like tends to happen. So it is gonna be wild when they come back, because we haven't seen them come back yet.
No, we haven't seen them come back, and I mean, they kissed a little bit, but it's gonna be funny with Kenny. See how that goes, because he's gonna have Tia, which I don't think Tia and him are gonna do anything. I don't think they're gonna progress any, but I think Mari's still gonna be like, I think she still has feelings for Kenny. So like Demi and Mari are still gonna be, and Tia's just like that back. Maybe something will happen, but he's got a lot of options, so it's gonna be interesting to see what he does.
Yeah. And Mari, we didn't talk about it at the rose ceremony. She gave kind of a friendship rose to James. Kept him around. So I'll be keeping an eye on him because he hasn't really made a connection at all. No. He's kind of just been coasting through, just having a good time. But I kind of like James, so I'm glad that he's still around. He seems like a cool guy.
Yep.
But another pretty surprising couple split that happened this episode. We got Abigail and Noah, probably one of the strongest couples coming into, this episode. Probably the strongest couple in the house that you could think of.
Yeah, because like right when he came into Bachelor in Paradise, like he got Abigail right away. He said to David Spade, like, "I'm looking to be with Abigail. I think she's awesome." He goes, and like that was the first connection we saw at all this season. So it is crazy that happened.
Yes, it is. She basically told them that they seemed more like friends. And I think in one of the earlier episodes, she talked about how she ends up friend zoning a lot of guys. And then she basically kind of did it again. And so she was all sad about that. And he was all sad about that. But definitely a bit of a surprise. You get together that early. It's hard to think that you might go all the way, though, too.
Yeah, it's worked out for, I guess Marissa and Riley. I guess he was a little late, but that relationship seems strong.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be strong. Our first boom boom room occupants.
They might be engaged because that was the first boom boom room, so that might be an engagement watch.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any odds on that. Like first boom boom room, like what the odds on them getting engaged are. Somebody should stat check that. See, this is why once this podcast gets big, we're gonna have somebody that can pull that up.
I'd bet on that.
Hell yeah. But speaking of strong couples, we can't go without mentioning the end of episode 2. Probably one of our most anticipated arrivals.
Dude.
Kendall shows up.
Oh, man, I cannot wait for this. I can't wait for episode 1. Oh, I guess I don't know if they're doing 2 episodes next week, but Monday is going to be crazy. I'm a keen in on this episode because this is my early fave couple, and Joe's got to have to do the right thing. He's got to move on. Serena's a good girl. He needs to do it. I just can't wait. It's going to be fun to watch that one.
I gotta ask what your prediction is. Does he? I mean, he's definitely gonna have a conversation with Kendall. So where do you think this is gonna go?
Well, the crazy part is Kendall. She walks in and she skips over everybody. Like I think James was like, "Oh, I tried to say hi to her," and she was like, "Where's Joe?" And just like walk past every single person to get to Joe. So she is absolutely here for one reason, one person, one reason. And it's Joe. So if Joe says, hey, I'm with Serena, I think I want to explore this, I think she leaves. And I think that's exactly what happens. I think she lasts one episode only on Monday, and she's out because if Joe actually does what he needs to do that I want him to do, Kendall's not going to want to see Joe and Serena do what they do. You know what I'm saying? So she's just going to leave. There's no point for her to be here.
I think that opinion is biased because that is your early fave couple. And I don't think you're answering that with what you really think is going to happen. Because what I really think is going to happen is they're going to have the first conversation, and then it's going to turn into one of them's going to get a date card. And huh?
Kendall, doesn't everybody who just first day?
Oh yeah, so she probably already has one. Okay, yeah. So then she's gonna ask Joe on a date, and I think he's gonna say yes.
I think he says yes. No, maybe not. I don't know.
Because he told Serena that he would say no, but I think he's gonna say yes. And I think your early fave couple is going to crumble from within.
The reason why they broke up was because she wouldn't move to Chicago, or she didn't want to move out of LA, which he told Serena on the date card for the first, because Serena and him had the first, or a date earlier in episode 1. So now she can say all the right things. She can be like, oh, I think I'm ready to move. He's got to see through that, because it's just like giving gifts. You can say things, you can give things, but like actually doing is going to be the problem. I don't know. I don't even know Joe. So it's just like, I think I knew Serena wouldn't go for Thomas. Like I was not worried about that. That was an easy guess. But this guy, I'm a little nervous, but I got to stick to my guns on this one.
Oh my God. I am so excited for this episode. I mean, like I said, we've kind of been waiting for this Kendall. We've known that Kendall's going to show up at some point, basically the whole season. And now it's here. And remember from last week, Serena had a date with Thomas and basically came back right to Joe and smooth sailing. And then Joe's telling her that he would say no to anybody asking him on dates now. So it's going to be a really spicy situation when Kendall inevitably asks him on a date and he says yes.
I guess I haven't watched Bachelor in Paradise. This is my first season. Do a lot of people say no to dates like towards kind of the end? Because like a question, I guess, do you think Kenny should have told Tia no for the date?
I don't think so, because him and Demi, like, he probably shouldn't have boned. Like, honestly, he probably shouldn't have boned that quick, okay? Because I think he should have been able to say yes to that date. But the fact that they boned, like, kind of complicates it a little bit more, because obviously Demi was, like, basically all in. Yeah. And they talked about it, and he was like, if I got asked on the date, what would you want me to say? And she's like, well, no, obviously. Right. So I think she's feeling pretty attached, but honestly, they've only been together for like a couple days at this point. Yeah. Like the Mari thing just happened. I mean, I think it was probably just a couple days. The Mari thing just happened. He gets with Demi for a couple days. Again, probably should have waited to bone, but he does. And then, goes on a date. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say, like, it's hard to say no, because like all these people are attractive. But like, it's hard, like, unless you have like a real strong connect, like there's only probably 2 couples I would say that would just straight out say no, which is Marissa and Riley, because they were boom boom room, and Serena and Joe. But you think Joe would probably say yes to a date with Kendall just to hear her out and just like to give her that respect. 'Cause I think it's more of a respect thing from that point. They were engaged. They spent, I don't know, 2 years together, 1 year. I don't know what he said, but I think that's just more respect. And I think that's kind of the angle he'll go at it with Serena. Like, hey, this is more out of respect. You know, I had feelings for her and I don't anymore. I mean, that's what I would do, I guess, if I was in Joe's situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is, like you said, that's one of the strongest couples in the house. So this is going to be kind of our first situation where somebody in one of those strong couples is going to get asked on a date. So, I mean, really, this is going to be our first big one. I don't know. But I think he's going to say yes. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about Serena's situation right now.
Yeah, I would not. Dude, and the crazy part is, I know we're kind of going long here, but the crazy part is, like, Serena asked Joe on the date, their date, what happens if, like, Kendall came back, or, like, what happens if Kendall wanted to move to Chicago? Something like, she said it something like that. And he basically said, like, he has no more feelings for her. You know, it happened, and, you know, he's ready to find love again. So, like, I'm sure that's, like, a precursor to, of course, Kendall actually coming, but he said all the right things to Serena, but he better back it up, because
I'm pretty sure that she point blank asked him, like, if Kendall showed up and asked you on a date, would you say yes? And he said no. I'm again, get our fact checker on that, but I think she may have specifically asked him that question, and he said no when they were doing.
I don't remember the specifics, but I know they talked about Kendall, and he basically said it was over with.
Yeah, he definitely said that. So yeah. All eyes on next episode. I mean, this was basically like just the biggest cliffhanger to leave us on. Yeah. And I mean, that pretty much wraps up this week's episodes. And yeah, we've got a lot of drama still in store. I mean, this is crazy. But I do want to, before we go, update that my early fave couple, Brendan and Tasha, still together. Okay.
They suck though.
They suck because he kissed her. He finally kissed her, and now things are smooth sailing, bro. Looks like they're in a lot better situation than your couple. That's all I'm gonna say.
Dude, if Piper comes into this show within the next week or two, Brendan is kicking Tasha to the curb. I don't know if Piper's coming or not, but once she does, Natasha, I'm sorry, you're going. You're leaving. You're home. You're bags.
Let's hope that doesn't happen, because you're probably right. Or at least your couple breaks up before mine, and then I win, so it doesn't matter.
You better be picking a new couple.
What?
You better be picking a new couple.
Yeah, right. You better be picking. You got a lot on the line next episode. You better be thinking about your next couple.
Joe's gonna pull through. He's my guy.
All right,
I called him last night.
I think us and our 2 fans are all very excited to see if your prediction comes true. So with that, we will wrap up this week's episode. Thanks again for watching, to our 2 fans, where we are not brought to you by Core Watery. We will catch you guys next week.
Peace.